Mobile gaming has really gotten a bad reputation over the past few years, as most games released for mobile devices nowadays are either free-to-play gacha games loaded with microtransactions, or other free-to-play games that require you to view advertisements constantly. Many yearn for the earlier days of mobile gaming, where microtransactions were less common, and classic beloved games such as Angry Bird, Fruit Ninja, and the mobile port of Request Pawn On could be found downloaded on any middle schooler's iPod Touch. I disagree with the idea that mobile gaming has gotten worse, and in this video, I will be reviewing some of the best games released over the past few years that easily match, if not tower over the classics in terms of quality and entertainment value. Before I get into specific games, however, I want to share the secret to finding good mobile games, since a lot of people seem to not be aware of it. You might think the best way to find games that are entertaining yet light on the microtransactions and advertisements is through looking at the top downloaded games on the App Store, but this is false. The problem is that many of these games cost money, and I'll be damned if I'm gonna spend $1.99 to download a game on my new phone that I spent $700 on. Now there are plenty of highly regarded games that can be downloaded for free, but while these games are good, they aren't actually good. If you want to find the real hidden gems, you've gotta look somewhere special. Mobile game advertisements. Believe it or not, some of the best games the mobile platform has to offer can be found through advertisements. After all, why would somebody spend money to force random people to watch a misleading, inaccurate, and possibly downright terrifying video featuring their game if they weren't 100% sure that said game was the most important thing that they have and will ever have produced in their lives? Companies such as Bethesda and Rockstar Games spend huge amounts of money on advertising, and their games are both highly rated and sell millions of copies. The same logic applies to mobile games. The first game I found through advertisements is called Join Clash 3D. The goal of this game is to run through levels building up a fighting force, all while dodging traps and obstacles. You need to keep as many of your soldiers alive as possible, since an enemy castle lies in wait at the end of each level, which you need superior numbers to successfully conquer. This game is pretty good, but I do feel that it's a bit problematic in how it seems to glorify colonialism. The next game I played is called Slice It All! Again, a pretty simple game where you tap the thing and something happens. Much less controversial than the previous game, and they even let you completely screw off if you want to. I give this game 4 popcorn bags out of 5. While I was playing Slice It All, I saw an ad for this game called Cube Surfer, and the ad, it claimed that the game was, quote, harder than you think, all while featuring gameplay footage where the players seemed to be doing terrible at a seemingly easy game. I decided to try the game out for myself, and yeah, they're completely right. This game is balls to the wall difficult. Definitely the Dark Souls of Cube Surfers. It's great to see some honesty in advertisements for once. The next game, Bridge Race, was especially interesting to me as it claimed in its advertisement that it was a game to play with buddies.
I found a game to play with buddies.
However, when I started playing the game, I quickly realized that the other people you were playing with were not real people, but actually bots. There wasn't any way to play the game with buddies whatsoever. What a jip. It's a shame because this game is alright otherwise, but if you intend to download this game in order to play it with buddies, then you'd better look elsewhere. There are plenty of other good games to be found through advertisements, but I wanted to look at games that I found through the second best way of finding hidden gems on the App Store. This is through searching the store for existing games or properties, and downloading the games which are similar to what you searched for, but are unofficial. While some people may think that these games are just cash grab ripoffs not worth checking out, they are often actually some of the best games you can download for free. This is because these games are not ripoffs, but are rather clever examples of a genre of art called pastiche. If you don't know what pastiche is, it's similar to parody, but it honors rather than insults whatever it is based off of. Some famous examples of pastiche in the medium of film include disaster movie, superhero movie, airplane mode, and epic movie, all of which are critically acclaimed films that are beloved by many. You might be thinking that something being pastiche does not guarantee that it is good, and you're probably right, but this is my video, and I get to say whatever I want. Spider-Man is a classic superhero that has plenty of high-quality mobile games based off of him. In Spider Skates Run, you play as who else but Spider-Man doing whatever a spider can. This game is a pretty good time waster, and as a bonus, you get to watch stuff like this at the end of every level.
Hi, Angela.
Hi there.
May I come in?
You look a little different from your Tinder profile.
What? What? No, it's me, Chuck.
Don't worry about it.
Awesome. Spider Rope Hero Parkour Run has a similar formula to the previous game, but instead of dishing out spider justice to baddies on roller skates, you get to do cool parkour. Believe it or not, Sam Raimi has stated publicly that he officially considers this game and several others canon to his Spider-Man film trilogy, placing it chronologically between the second and third Spider-Man movies. Flying Spider Hero 2 gives you the choice between two exciting game modes, Open World Fighter or Melee Shooter. They decided to give Spider Hero a gun in this one, which I think was a good choice by the creators of this game as it puts a unique spin on Peter Parker's character. Rather than serving as a hero to Gotham City, Spider-Man is instead depicted as a murderous psychopath and menace to society who slays all that stand in his path. This game is fantastic because it gives the player the freedom to do whatever they want in a large, open-world setting. If you like not only spiders, but men as well, you should totally consider checking this game out. Enough about the man spider, how about games featuring the big man himself, everybody's favorite holiday icon, Santa Claus. In Santa Claus Vicetown Fight Simulator, Santa's lost his marbles and is on a rampage. The North Pole is under siege by US Marines and... Wait, hold on a second, this isn't even Santa. It's a goddamn Spider Hero again. Whatever. This game is still impressive, but it unfortunately leaves a lot to be desired. The graphics are pretty subpar, what with the constant pop-in and low-quality textures, at least compared to other mobile games. The combat is definitely a plus for this game. With deep RPG leveling mechanics, this game will keep you occupied for at least like 5 minutes. Also, Santa Spider Claus Hero talks like Yoda for some reason. You'd better watch out, and you'd better not cry, because Santa Claus is going to murder you in Crazy Santa Christmas Escape Simulator: Games 2020. The game starts by explaining its story, so the main kid's all like, "Hey Sophia, it is Christmas, and we cannot collect the gifts from Santa Claus. We can go to Snatta House and collect some gifts from..." Alright, cool. So they go over there, and Santa turned out to be Epstein the whole time, and now Santa Claus becomes Scary, and Scary Santa kidnapped the Sophia, save him Alright, yeah, sure. This game perfectly encapsulates what it's like to be a small child running through a big house. Just be careful not to fall into the shadow dimension on accident. This game's pretty good, though it also sucks. The Kris-Kringling action doesn't end there, believe it or not. I fell in love with Crime City Simulator Santa Claus Rope Hero, since it simply has everything you could want from a mobile game. It's got zombies, dancing children, evasive Santa maneuvers, zombie dogs, interesting architecture, advertisements for Super Spider Web Flying Hero 2020, scary Halloween Santa music. It even has tragic car accidents. This game's world feels so alive and interactive that you can't help but get immersed in it. Ho ho ho! Don't fret, sir. I'm here to help. This game really makes you feel like Santa Claus, which is why it's so great. Oh ho! The problem's obvious. She's missing her genitals. My god, it's even worse in person. This guy's seen things no one man trapped in a Santa Claus Rope Hero game should ever have to see. Of course, the military was behind it all along. There's plenty of room on the naughty list for you bastards. Now it's time for the final battle between Santa and the Goblin King himself, who uses the same fire dragon summoning attack as the Orc Girl from the Spider-Man game, it seems. Oh, have at thee, fiend! You'll learn the true meaning of Christmas, even if I have to beat it into you! Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen! Come watch me give the Scrooge an ass-kicking! Unfortunately, despite his valiant effort, Santa was bested in combat. Sucks. There were just a few more games I wanted to take a look at, and they were all games based off of existing video games or series. The first being Teams of Fortress 2, which I believe is based off of Valve's 2007 multiplayer shooter game, Team Fortress 2, though I'm not entirely sure. This is actually a pretty good attempt at porting TF2's gameplay to the mobile platform. All 9 classes are playable, and some of the classes still have their unique abilities, such as how the engineer can place turrets, and the spy can turn invisible. The main complaint that I have with this game is that, just like with the Bridge Race game from before, there is no option to play with real people, only bots. I suppose this isn't something you can really fault the game for, since current Team Fortress 2 has the same problem. Cuphead is a fantastic game that won the hearts of many due to its charming graphical style and difficult gameplay. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any good Cuphead-esque games on the App Store, but I did find Cartoon Cat vs. Cartoon Dog vs. Siren Head game. It's got some interesting pictures. I don't really feel like playing it, so I'll read someone else's review instead. Samia writes, TBH, the game sucks. The music sucks. Characters suck. I only play Siren Head, wow. In every games, the so-called first level is supposed to be easy. For everyone's advice, just don't waste your time with this garbage, or a ghost will be roaming in your house and take control over your nightmares and you too. It will happen, don't risk it. Well said, Samia, well said. This video has gone on long enough, so I think I'll finally move on to what you've all been waiting for. Among Us. Crewmates. Imposters. Sus. This game definitely rocked the world, with game journalists attributing its success to its numerous positive features, such as its innovative gameplay loop, high-quality game feel, volumetric god rays, realistic wyvern physics, ambient occlusion, hamster artificial intelligence, blast processing, and VSync. However, Among Us has come under heavy controversy recently, and while there's a lot of parts to the story, some false and some true, the main takeaway is that Among Us is actually a fraudulent game. Strong evidence has been found supporting the theory that Among Us stole ideas from numerous other free mobile games and is an almost completely unoriginal creation. Researchers commissioned by the United Nations discovered several games that the developers of Among Us supposedly stole from, and I'm gonna take a look at a few of them, so that it can be decided once and for all if Among Us itself is sus. This first game, titled Red Imposter, is one of many games that Among Us seems to have stolen the classic idea of the imposter from. Your goal as the imposter in this game is to slay the crewmates without getting caught by them. Sound familiar? Just watch out, because that gnome thing is an imposter too, apparently. Among Us Online bears a striking resemblance to Among Us, what with its graphics and level design. It's been scientifically proven by scientists that Among Us directly lifted quite a few assets from this game and claimed them as their own. Shameful. I was really looking forward to playing Black Imposter 3D, but something odd happened not long after I started the game. I was suddenly sent back to my home screen for no reason whatsoever. I thought that the game had crashed until I realized that I had pressed the home button on my phone by mistake. While this was a mishap on my part, it still soured my view on the game enough that I couldn't bear to play it again, nor have it on my phone at all, and thus, into the trash it went. Saving the best game for last, it's time for everyone's favorite fad Among Us. Never mind. So, after reviewing all that evidence, the question still stands. Did Innersloth steal the concept of Among Us from other games? Probably not. Well, that's all for this video. If you're still not convinced that mobile gaming is still good, then I highly recommend you to either try out some of these games yourself, or to use one of the two methods for finding good games I demonstrated in this video. Unfortunately, there was one game I wanted to look at but couldn't, called Gardenscapes, which has received a reputation for its strange, supposedly misleading advertisements, even causing a subreddit dedicated to hating on said ads to be created. The game was bugged for me, however, and most of the text was censored, making the game barely playable on my device. Oh well. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I also hope that you are looking forward to the upcoming E3 this year, or Hanukkah, whichever you celebrate in your household.